is going on YouTube? This is Sam from TeamSamuraiX1 here, and today guys, I'm coming at you with an amazing deck profile for you guys today from Jesse Kotton. Jesse has been on the channel for quite some time, you know, shout outs to Game Nation again. And you know what, Jesse, what deck profile are you going to be profiling for us today?
My BA PK deck, but it has a lot of like
spicy
in there,
yeah. Spicy techs. And you know what, he top 8'd OCS this past weekend.
We had a really good turnout. We had 77 players.
Yeah,
so you guys should come so we can make it bigger. The prize pool was great. I mean, I was disappointed with top 8. I had a stupid loss to the demise anti-meta deck.
Yeah, I saw that.
I opened 3 twins, 2 maxi game 1. He drew 5 monsters, which had never happened. So I lost that. No, but it was good though. I mean, top 8 got $90 plus a mat, which I've already sold for $40. So for just getting top 8 in an 80-man tournament, like $130, that was pretty sick.
Yeah, awesome.
The winner got $500.
Wow, that's a huge cash prize for an 80 player. Okay, and it's also like the best players in Toronto are there. So, all right, Jesse. So without further ado, let's get started with your deck profile, man.
All right, so I actually play like a smaller BA engine, which is unlike me because I love the BAs and I need to see them as much as possible. But with one Beatrice, oftentimes your BAs can just be dead in your hand if you already have an established board, and you want to just kill them, so you don't want anyone to play more. Like I cut Barbar, Rubik, and like a lot of multiples.
Yeah.
I think Barbar is not good. I've been saying it forever, and I've only played it because it was another name that kind of did something. But now that I don't want as many names, like Barbar is an instant cut. Like half the way I play the deck is that I don't really do much damage early game. Like I'm controlling the board and card advantage for the early turns, and then when I kill them, I'm dealing like 8,000 up one turn, so I don't really need to burn them with Barbar. Oftentimes, it never really matters. Like half the time, you're barbering in their draw phase with Beatrice anyways. You're gonna win the game regardless if you just sent a Farfetch to kill them.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and then Libic's probably the next most important, and you can consider playing 2 of these. It's really good. It lets you just kill them a lot easier, and like make sure dead BAs in hand is head live. Calcraft and Alec are still necessary. Alec less so. Actually, Alec's not as good, but when against the boards when they drop Infinity, it's really good because there's actually one mistake people actually make is that they'll negate the Alec with Infinity, thinking they'll rather keep the 400 attack on the Infinity. But if you negate the Alec, you become 2,500 attack, and then they can crash Beatrice and drop a Pilgrim, and that's really bad for a deck like. So my advice to people is like, if you're playing against BAs and they Alec your Infinity, oftentimes it's best to just let the Alec go through because you're gonna screw yourself over if you do negate it.
Awesome.
And then Torgade, I guess you can count it as a BA, the best one. I play 3 boots, 2 gloves. People who've seen me play the deck before know I like 2 gloves over cloak, but I decided to play 2 cloak now because with Desires I don't want to banish the 1 cloak. Also, I'm playing a little more PK heavy, I guess, so it makes sense to have 2 of these. I do really think this is just better though, because it gets cloak, and the 1000 attack boost and the break sword is super relevant.
Nice. So double gloves.
Yeah. Also, like if you play just one of these, you can't do this to get cloak and then cloak to get this, because that's really good for deck thinning and to make sure like break sword way more impactful. Nice. You play the auto top engine.
Auto top, yeah. The best.
And this is like the second worst card in the deck. I have a worst card in this build. 2 maxi.
How's this card at 2? Being at 2?
And the same thing as being at 3. I mean, for the last few months I played 2 in the main deck anyways.
Yeah.
For Nats and for Toronto, I just played once. I mean, I played 2 inside and 1, and that was like really good for me. So I'm okay with just cutting more from the side deck. 1 Humongous. This was last minute because I had a 16 card side deck and I needed to move something over. But I had the like mentality for a long time I should be maining Kaijus. So I'm actually really happy I did. It won me a lot of games, just like having the Kaiju game 1, and then I started more Kaijus going like for game 2 and 3, and they were really good too. I'm definitely upping up the count on this. And then I played one called Hippo.
Okay, so this is your spicy tech of your deck.
That's one of the spicy techs, yeah.
Okay, so what's so good about this card?
So it's effectively like useless in this deck. You only actually beat a guy. It was pretty funny. I went before playing Hippo effect, and then tribute summon Humongous. But like you don't ever use the effects. That was just like that was a stupid kill. It was just for fun. Yeah. I'm gonna say this because it's level 3, and with a Super Hippo Carnival, it's a level 3 for your hand deck or grave, similar like an E-Telly would be. And it does like make sure PK hands better, and it means you don't have to play as many BAs because now I just think you use the BAs for your Beatrice, and if you do have multiple BAs, then you can use them for Dante's and stuff, but and for Allures. But yeah, the Hippo Carnivals were really good. They kind of replaced excess BA names that didn't do anything anyways. Because like 1 BA, 1 PK sucks, where Carnival with a PK is really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go off to your spells.
Yeah, 3 twins. I still really think 3 twins isn't necessary, and I don't understand why people are cutting it. You make do against the Blue Eyes. You have to understand it's not that good. It's okay playing 3 dead cards against the deck when you're already favored. I mean, if you draw multiples, it sucks. I can't really help it, but like it happens. I mean, it's not even that terrible. Like they will set back row like Twin Twister, and you just set it face down because it baits out the Spirit Dragon effect monster. So like your Fog Blades stay safe. It's not completely useless against Blue Eyes, and then it's still really good against Pendulums, obviously, and Mirror Match. So and like discarding is so good. So I think you need to play 3 still.
Awesome.
3 alerts. I don't know why people don't play 3. It's really good, especially with the Phantom Knights. That's why I wanted to play more of them. Drawing 2 banished 1 is pretty good.
Yep. And more pluses now.
Yeah, two desires.
So how's this card working for you?
It's good. I cut it like before the YCS. I was playing it and then I cut it because it sucked the Mirror Match, like it was a grind game.
Yeah.
But now with One Beatrice, it's less of a grind game. It's still a grind game, but not as much. So I can afford 2 desires. I still side it out against BAs, but it's better game 1 than it was before.
So one Rhoda. Also.
Rhoda, it's another PK. Foolish, really good. And Carnival. One other thing about Carnival is that if you do summon the tokens, which is optional, but like if you do summon the tokens on your opponent's turn, they can only attack tokens that turn, which means like even if they kill all the tokens, they still can't attack the rest of your monsters.
Because the only thing they can attack
so
is
if you
tokens.
drop double break sword and then you Carnival, they can choose not to kill the tokens, but then you have double break sword to kill off your tokens anyways. And like if they kill the tokens, they can't attack your break swords.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
If your break swords live for 2 turns and you're popping 4 cards, like that's so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then traps. 3 Fog Blades really good, and I played 1 Wings. I think having the 4th one is really good. It opens up a lot of combos with the 2nd trap. Also, like I can gloves away to the grave and not feel like I'm wasting resources. Also, like the 500 boost is relevant a lot and wins you a lot of games. People don't see it coming. It stops destruction. Probably the best thing though is against Blue Eyes. If you do manage to get your Pilgrim on board and you use this on Pilgrim, it becomes 3,300, and then like Blue Eyes don't really have an out to it because. The reason they don't really have to worry much about like non-targetable stuff is that they have 3k and they can swing over it. But this makes it 33, and that's really hard to deal with, especially when the Pilgrim is far away anything, and you have Fog Blades too.
Yeah.
So they let's rely on Exceeds, and they just make like their Dark Matter, or they make the Photon Prime, or whatever. Right? Just banish those far from. That's a wrap.
Yeah,
I played 2 more traps. It's Feeding Wing Blast.
How's this card working out for you?
Oh, it's amazing. I love this card. Having more discard outlets makes the BAs a lot more live in hand. It makes your PKs like enabled. And like being able to put something on top of the deck is so good. It's better than the other discard outlets, like the Regeki Breaking Karma Cut, because it hits anything, including scales and back row.
Yep.
And like in the Mirror Match, if they have like a Fog Blade up, you can just Wing Blast the Fog Blade. And then they have a dead draw, and you clear the Fog Blade without killing it. It's just a lot more versatile, and like when you use it right, it's very good. Sadly, I may have to cut it though, because I do want to add Vanity's Fiends to the main deck to deal with Blue Eyes. And,
Vanity's Fiend in the main.
To deal with Blue Eyes and Metaphors. And I'm not sure if I want to play too many cards. I'm playing 45 already. But this was really good. I have to tinker around with the deck a little more.
Awesome. So you want to go off to your side deck real quick?
Sure.
Side deck. Let's go to side deck and see what you play.
It's mostly just 3 of this. 3 Vanity's Fiends, just busted for Pendulums and Blue Eyes. 3 hand spells. I don't like it versus Blue Eyes. Actually, like going first, I guess it's okay. 3 Electric Pendulum for the Manspected Demise deck. Which is actually pretty popular in Toronto. I don't know if I'm playing this at like a major event, like I'm going to YCS Minnesota.
So one second. Go.
This card's good against Manspected Demise. It's not as good against Metal Foes. I mean, it's okay going second to stop like Sloth and Kieran, but it's not amazing against that. But against the Manspected Demise, the last format versus the Kieran Turbo deck, it was ridiculous. I may cut it when I go to YCS Monopolist because all the Odd Eyes Pendulum decks and the Manspected decks are falling out of favor, and it's more Metal Foes. In which case, Ghost Ogres will probably replace this.
Awesome.
3 cherries for a match.
So
probably like the best engine was just Gadarla, Kumongus, and Slumber. So I already made 1 Kaiju, so it's basically a 4-card Kaiju engine. The Slumber is really good because if you open it, it's like okay, but if you mill it or beaches it away or discard it, it's just really, really strong. To get the search for your Kaijus. This one is, it's good. You don't play Gamma Seal because it's a level 8 against Blue Eyes, and if you give it to them, you can't kill it. It's like hard. Also, 3k defense is like relevant sometimes because if they put it in defense, you don't want to waste your Break Sword pop on a Gamma Seal. You'd rather just attack over it. And then Gadarla, which is really good because you give it to them, and then you can crash your Beatrice to drop a Pilgrim, and the Pilgrim attacks over this.
Yep.
So it turns your Beatrice into Pilgrim, which is pretty good. I just play the one though because you want to search it with the Slumber, and like it's also another name because you want to with the Slumber you can, if you draw it, you do want to be able to actually activate it.
Yeah.
So that allows you to activate it.
Awesome. Yeah. So is that pretty much it for your side deck? Let's go off to your extra deck real quick.
It's just like 3 card Kaijus and then 3 of everything else.
Awesome.
I like siding like that. Just it's pretty good. Pilgrim, Beatrice. Sadly, can't play more of these anymore.
Yeah, Michael Walters played 1.
I don't know why. I love playing 2 of these with 3 beaches.
Yeah, it's so good.
It wins you like almost every matchup. It forces them to play defensively because they want to be aggressive against your deck because they need you to kill you fast.
Yeah.
But if they do, you crash beaches and drop Pilgrims, and then they lose anyways.
Yeah.
So obviously now it's not as good, but 1 beach is still very impactful. 2 Dantes.
Only 2?
Yeah. There are like you don't emphasize bees as much. You don't need to make beaches as often. So I just elected to not play 3. Like if it gets cherries anyways, it's gone. I'd rather just play something else instead, like help me cope under cherries or just make better openers. 2 Breaksword. You don't need 3. I do play 2 rank 4s though, for versatility. Not for like activating twice, but like having these 2 really good. So Rebellion is obvious, we've been playing that for a long time. Rhapsody is really good. Being able to banish 2 cards from the grave is very good. You can hit their Return of the Dragons, you hit their Stones, you can hit the PKs and the Dantes and the Seers and the Mirror Match. And then even like I actually want to get against Metaphors. You bait out their counters and you banish both the counters, and they lose their scales and when they think they can get them back. And then you equip it to like your Levier or your Corbage, and making a 3K or 34 is really good. Even a 32 or 42 Breaksword is like very good. Because attack does matter a lot. Engineer, I'm trying this out. It's really good to drop with Corbage because it protects the Corbage and then also gives it a material, which is pretty good.
Yep.
Also, like when you get cherries, like the Mirror Match, you can drop this with a Farf under it, and that's like a worse Beatrice. Especially if you drop this plus like a Corbage or like a Breaksword, it lets you just like defend yourself, and then like you can just try put pressure on to kill them. I still think it's better than Nightmare Strike because the way I play again, I don't need the burst damage. Long Grand Pulse, really good. 2 Leviers, necessary to play 2 now. Yep. You just abuse the PKs more, which is another reason why I just play 7 instead of 6. And then the Corbage Engine, which is really good now. And then F-Zero, obviously.
All right, awesome. So can you explain one more time why, like, is there times that you would ever need Nightmare Shark? And like, you know, like according to
I haven't needed it since last January probably, when I first started playing BAs, and that was when it was worse with the deck.
Yeah.
But ever since I talked last Nats in 2015, like I cut it right after that event, and I never needed it again.
Yeah.
Like it was just not impactful. Like I didn't play it all in Nats that year. It was just like, even though it was like a 22 trap card deck and it was grindy, I still just didn't need it. Like I just decked them out half the time. I'd out resource them, or I'd eventually just like Traveler and kill them, and that was just like more than enough. Like I didn't need Nightmare Shark.
Yeah.
And with the PK deck, it's still the same, right? Because the Leviers and the Breakswords and the Rebellion and the Fog Blades give so much burst damage.
Yeah.
If you just like use your resources correctly, you set up the lethal so many turns, like you can just deal 8,000 damage. And if your opponent just leaves himself vulnerable once, or you make them vulnerable once, it's just over because that can do so much so fast.
Yeah, exactly. All right, awesome. Jesse, thank you so much for this amazing deck profile. Huge shout out goes to 401 Games for letting us use their space. And this is Sam from Team Sam signing out. All right, guys. Peace.